Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Cobblemon video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the Styles Upon Styles add-on, which adds a ton of new cosmetic variants to already existing Pokemon. Some of these are so cool and I can't wait to show you, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. Okay, and this is going to be our little platform that we will be using today. This secret button opens my PC, nothing too special, but these are all the Pokemon that have new cosmetic variants. Not only one, some even have more than one. And we also have the summer update that released the previous month that also gives all of these Pokemon new summer variants. We're gonna start off with the normal ones to begin with. Okay, and our first Pokemon is going to be Absol. Pretty cool Pokemon on its own, and this one actually has two new styles. One with the luxury ball and one with the purple wool. Let's start off with the luxury ball. Like this. Ooh. Yo, it's wearing a suit. It has like red little armbands and a very cool hat. Yo, this is actually super cool. Most of the references are probably going to fly over my head because I don't play most of the other Pokemon games aside from the mainline ones and a couple of spin-offs, but this one looks very cool. I don't know what this is from, but it's a very cool costume. Now, let's move on to our second cosmetic form for Absol, which is going to use the purple wool. Let's take a look. Oh my god, this one is even better. It has like a different hairstyle. I don't know which one is my favorite. I'd probably say the purple hat one. The first one I'm gonna give a 7 out of 10, and this one I'm going to give an 8 out of 10 because it just looks very cute but doesn't really change a lot. Okay, Absol, get back in the ball, and let's take a look at our second Pokemon, which is going to be Armarouge. Armarouge is already a very cool Pokemon, but in this add-on it also gets a new cosmetic variant, which you can get by giving it blue wool. Let's take a look. And now it gets like a little outfit. Ooh, this is actually very cool, but I don't know if it's supposed to keep the flame on its head. It looks a little bit weird like that. Okay, but aside from that, it looks very cool. I think the flame is supposed to stay because that's kind of like its whole design. But it wears like a blue little outfit, which looks super cute. I really like this one. I'm gonna give this one, I'd say a 7 out of 10. Doesn't change too much, but is still a very cool variant. I think I would rock this variant instead of the normal, like, version anytime. Okay, now let's move on to the next Pokemon, which is going to be Blaziken, one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. For Blaziken, we will need the leather. It only has one style variant, and this is the one. And look at this. This is what I call a 10 out of 10 style variant. It gets the cool leather pants, the cool leather jacket. Look at this. This just looks so cool. It even has like a side chain and like spikes on its hands. It's so cool. I think it's even wearing gloves. So this is just such a cool style variant. This is a 10 out of 10 any day. Okay, the next Pokemon is going to be our Kanto starter Charmander, and you can give it the blue banner, which turns it into this little version. It gives it like some sort of armor, but the cool thing about this style variant is that you can actually evolve it, and the style variant will actually move on with the evolution. So let's take a look. Boom, here we go. Look, the armor grows with the Pokemon. It still looks very cool, and it even has like flames on the side, which is also pretty cool. I just noticed that. Okay, but none of you actually want to see Charmeleon. You guys want to see Charizard. So let's go and evolve it into Charizard. Let's go. This one is going to look super cool. I already know it. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Yo. Okay, this is even cooler than I imagined. The Charizard gets like, I don't know, this looks like very futuristic, like a futuristic armor set, and also the super cool looking glasses. This is very cool. I am gonna be honest, I'm not the biggest fan. I don't know why, but the color scheme, I don't know, the blue, I'm not the biggest fan of like blue and then the orange. I don't think it works that well together. So in my opinion, I'm gonna give this cosmetic variant, I'd say a 6. Guys, if you don't agree with my ratings, make sure to let me know in the comments down below which ratings you would give all of these cosmetics. I really like to know. Okay, but Charizard, let's move on to the next Pokemon, which is going to be another dragon, but this time way cuter, Dragonite. And Dragonite also gets one new cosmetic form, which you can get by giving it the punching glove. Now, this cosmetic form gives it some sort of jacket and pants, which is pretty funny. In my opinion, this isn't the coolest thing they could have done because it just looks kind of basic in my opinion. And I don't know what these red things are supposed to be, but it looks kind of sus if you know what I mean. I'm gonna give this one a 6 out of 10 because it probably is a reference to something, but I don't get the reference. And aside from the reference, I don't think it's, that interesting to be honest. I'm gonna keep it at a 6 out of 10. Dragonite, let's get back in the ball and let's take a look at the next Pokemon, which is going to be Eevee. This Pokemon I said I didn't like in my other video. That's still the same opinion I have. I do not like Eevee, but this Pokemon gets one new cosmetic variant, which you can get by giving it Glowstone, and then you can get this, I don't know what this is. Is that a hat? But the cosmetic does look very cute. If you like Eevee and you want it to have a little bit more flair, this is the perfect cosmetic. I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10. Pretty simple, but works very well. Okay, the next Pokemon is going to be Electivire, which is one of also my favorite Pokemon. I don't know why. I really like this Pokemon's design. I have no idea what this cosmetic form is going to be. You can get it by giving it yellow wool, and I'm very excited. Let's take a look. Ooh. Yo, okay. I know what I just said about the Dragonite, but in my opinion, this works way better with this Pokemon instead of Dragonite. I don't know what to say. I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. This is just a very cool looking style. I love this. Now we're moving on to the next Pokemon, which is going to be the first evolution, Espeon. Now, good news because Espeon actually has two new variants, one with Glowstone Dust and one with a Golden Apple. Let's start off with the Glowstone Dust version, and look at this. This is just what that Eevee was wearing, but then a little bit bigger and a little bit more detailed. Ooh, I love this. This is very cute. I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. I don't know. This is just what the Eevee was wearing, but a little bit more detailed and a little bit larger. But I don't know. I don't think it works on Espeon as well as it did on the Eevee. So I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Okay, I have high hopes for a style variant that uses a Golden Apple because those things are pretty expensive. So let's take a look. Golden Apple. Ooh. Oh, this is super cute. Espeon gets a little flower or whatever that is. It looks like a flower on its head and a very cute little like costume with a ribbon and stuff and like a shawl around it. It's super cute. Okay, if I had to choose between this one and the previous one, I'm definitely picking this one. This is a 9 out of 10 for me. Okay, our next Pokemon is going to be another starter Pokemon. Sadly, this one doesn't start off with Totodile, but only works on Feraligatr. The thing you give it is an Assault Vest, and you can also give it a Spyglass. We're gonna start off with the Assault Vest, and let's take a look. Yo! Military Feraligatr. That is something I didn't expect to see in today's video. I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. I do really like it, but it's still pretty basic. But if I had to choose between this or base Feraligatr, I would probably choose this one. Now, let's take a look if the Spyglass version can top this one off. Let's take a look. Yo, what? Spyglass turns it into like some sort of pirate chef. Ooh, this is... I don't know if I like this one more than the previous one. You know what? I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. I don't know. I like this one very much. He's like wearing some sort of headband. He even has like an attribute in his hand. I think I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. And the previous one, I'm gonna give the military one a 7 and the Spyglass one a 9 because this one looks very cool. Okay, next up we have Floatzel. And Floatzel, you need to give a Spyglass. A Spyglass as well. So Floatzel turns into a cute little sailor dude. Look at this. I don't know. I'm kind of... Is this supposed to be a sailor or is this supposed to be Donald Duck? I am pretty confused. I think it's probably a sailor if I'm not mistaken. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. He gets cute little clothing. He gets a cute little hat, but that's about it. So I'm gonna give this one A 6. I'm very sorry. Now, the next Pokemon is going to be Flygon. And what we need to give Flygon is a red wool. And that's everything, I think. Yes, red wool turns him into... Oh my god, this is so cute. This clothing looks so good, and the hat... Yo, he kind of looks like a detective. What should I give this Flygon with the cute little clothing and the super dapper looking hat? I'm gonna give this one a 9 because it does almost change the whole model, and the hat is just the cherry on top. I love this. This is gonna be a 9 for me. Moving on, we have my favorite Pokemon ever, Gibble, and this is going to be one of those cosmetic forms that actually evolves with the Pokemon. So let's get into it. We need to give this one Redstone to take a look at its new variant, and it doesn't really change a lot. What does it get? So he gets like a little outfit, pretty cute. I do get the reference, but I don't know what the game's called. So I'm very sorry. If someone in the comments can tell me what game that is. I have played it before, but I just don't remember the name anymore. But let's evolve it into Gabite, and let's take a look at how the outfit actually changes with the Pokemon. And boom, ooh, okay, this outfit looks super good. But like we had with Charmeleon, this is just a little awkward. Like, the outfit isn't really complete, but it's also not really like in its beginning stages yet. So the only thing we can do is evolve Gabite into Garchomp to look at the full product. Boom! Oh my goodness. This is the best thing ever. Oh my god. The glasses, the armor, just everything in general. This is my Cyberpunk Garchomp dream. Oh my goodness, you look so cool. Moving on, our next Pokemon is going to be another fan favorite, which is going to be Greninja, which gets one new style variant by giving it the green apricorn. I know you can't really tell that it's a green apricorn, but trust me, it is one. Let's see what this does. Yo! Okay, I really like this. This really works well with just the blue and like the pink in the tongue. This is very cool. I don't know if this is a reference to something, no idea, or if this is like a unique idea, but it looks very good. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna give this one, I'm gonna say an 8 because it is just a little outfit, but it looks very good. So that's why I'm giving it an 8. Moving on to our next Pokemon, we have my favorite starter from Gen 4, Infernape. The cool thing about this variant is that you can give it any type of pickaxe and it will actually turn into this variant, which is kind of like, I think, a minor like explorer type Infernape variant, but it doesn't really matter which of the pickaxes you give it. So you can give it a wooden one all up to netherite. I don't know why you would give it a netherite pickaxe if you can give it a wooden one, but yeah, that's up to you. But aside from that cool little gimmick, I really like that it gives it like the, I don't know, the flat eyebrows, not the angry ones, but just like the flat eyebrows. This one looks like a very serious Infernape. I'm gonna give this one a 9. The little backpack on the back is also very cute, and just the overall vibe, this variant really tells a story in my opinion, so that's why I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Moving on to a very cool Pokemon, we have Crocodile. And Crocodile, you can change its variant into the new one by giving it a clay ball, which gives you this Pokemon. And this is a very cool variant as well. It gets like the headphones, a jacket, the tail also changes. I don't know what that's supposed to be, like a stone tail or something, and it even starts wearing pants. I don't know if it's wearing a hat. Oh, it's wearing a beanie. Ooh, that's also very cool. So this looks like your typical Pokemon card collector. Okay, I don't know why you got angry when I told you that, but the zipper, just the overall color scheme, it works very well with the red. So I'm gonna give this one a 10 out of 10. I get a feeling this really just changes the whole model, and I really like it when add-ons do stuff like that. So that's why I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. Now, our next Pokemon is going to be Lapras. Lapras actually also has one new variant, and you can get it by giving it the Spyglass, which turns it into this captain-looking Lapras, which looks very cool. The thing is, it doesn't really change a lot, I'm gonna be honest, but I do really just like the overall vibe. So I think I'm gonna give this one, I'd say an 8, because I do really like the modeling and the colors. It really works well with just Lapras in general. Okay guys, be ready, because now we're getting into legendary territory. We have Latios right here, and by giving it blue wool, you can get this new variant. I had no idea it would actually change the model. This looks like an actual fighter jet. Okay, wait, we have to go for a ride in this thing. Okay. Oh my god, this does not work. What is going on with my camera? What is going on? Okay, we'll just stick to looking at the model because that is not working. But like I said, this looks like an actual fighter jet. This makes Latios look 10 times more menacing, and I'm an absolute fan of that. I'm gonna give this one a 10 out of 10 because it just changes the model, it makes the colors look way better, and just makes this like a 10 out of 10 legendary. So that's a 10 out of 10 for me. Moving on to our next legendary, we have Lugia, which looks absolutely gigantic, and by giving it the light blue wool, we can turn it into this variant. Let's go into spectator mode for a second to take a look at this. It actually gets the cool looking eyewear, and I think this is supposed to be a jacket or just a recoloring. It looks very cool. Okay, let's take a look at how it looks when it's flying. Are you gonna fly? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Now we have a way better view of what this Pokemon actually looks like. This looks very good. When it's flying and it has like, you can actually see the little details on the front. That is pretty cool. I am gonna be honest though, I don't think this is too game changing to actually deserve a 10 out of 10. So I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10 because I think the eyewear could have been another color and then this whole design would have popped a little bit more. But aside from that, it does look very good. Moving out of the legendary territory, we now have Meowscarada. One of the newest starter Pokemon. You can now give it a golden nugget to get this new style variant. And I'm not gonna lie, this one is perfect for me. The red coloring, the crown on top, and just this color scheme. This is so good. This is probably going to be another 10 out of 10. I know, I'm pretty generous in today's video, but it just looks so good. I would love to see this be like a shiny or something. If the real Pokemon games ever like make new models as like shinies, this should be what they do with it. The little star on the front is also a very nice touch. I love this one. 10 out of 10, moving on. The next Pokemon is going to be our first mythical, which is going to be Mew. The thing with Mew is, if you take a look at its sibling, Mewtwo, it has an armored variant which looks just super cool, so why can't Mew have an armored variant? So that's what this add-on changes by giving it any of the iron armor pieces, so the helmet, the chest plate, the leggings, or the boots. You can turn this one into armored Mewtwo, which looks super cool. It also looks a little bit scary. I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. Armored Mew is a very cool concept, but like when I actually look at it, it kind of looks goofy and derpy, which is not a bad thing, but I don't know. I don't know if I would pick this one over the normal Mew model, and that's why I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Now, moving on from Mew, we are taking a look at one of the coolest Pokemon ever, Obstagoon, which actually has a couple of new style variants, starting off with the throat spray, which turns it into the Pierce version. So for the people that don't know, in Pokemon Sword and Shield, there's a gym leader called Pierce, and this is his color scheme. Pink and white. And if you take a look at this Pokemon's back, you can actually see Pierce's logo on the back, and even a Pokeball belt. So does this Obstagoon actually have Pokemon? That is weird to think about if this is an actual trainer. Aside from that, I really like this whole idea, just giving the Pokemon that's like the signature Pokemon of a gym leader. The gym leader's like outfit is just very cool to me. I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. I don't think it's worthy of a 10 out of 10, but still a very cool looking style variant. Now, this isn't the only style variant that Obstagoon has. Obstagoon also has one that you can get by giving it leather, and this is just an immediate 10 out of 10. The punky vibe with the fire on the hands and just the whole like studded jacket vibe, so cool. And it even has the skull on the back. This is This is peak design, I'm not even gonna lie. So, 10 out of 10. This is absolutely a style variant I would use in my Let's Plays. This is so cool. Now we're gonna move on to a little Pokemon that's way cuter than Obstagoon, Politoed, and this one has a style variant you can obtain by giving it pink wool, and it will actually just get like casual, like a t-shirt and just like pants. And I don't know why. This fits Politoed. Now Politoed just looks like a normal guy. He's off to work. He's gonna make some money and then he's gonna come back home, chill on the sofa and watch some movies. That's the kind of vibe I get from this variant. So, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. It is very funny that it's just like a t-shirt and pants, but it doesn't change a lot. So that's why I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Now, moving on to Poliwrath. And fun thing about Poliwrath, you can also get its style variant by giving it pink wool, and it will actually wear the same clothes the Politoed was wearing. So this is just goofy and very funny. I'm a big fan. The same rating as I gave Politoed. This is a 7 out of 10. It is very funny though, I'm not gonna lie. Moving on from the goofy style variants, we now have Riolu, which we can give the Sinister T to turn it into Ash Ketchum Riolu, which is super cool. And what makes this style variant even cooler is that you can actually evolve it to get Ash Lucario. So let's do that. Three, two, one. Here we go. Look at this. This is great. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I like this version more than I like the previous one. I'm gonna give the Riolu a 10 out of 10 and this one a 9 out of 10. I don't know why, but the colors feel a little less saturated and this one just feels like the Ash Ketchum we got later on in the series. I think that's also what they're going for. I liked the vibrant Riolu a little bit more than the like toned down Lucario. So I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. No, an 8 out of 10. And the Riolu, a 10 out of 10. Okay, moving on, we now have Sirfetch'd, a Pokemon I usually don't really interact with. I don't even know how you're supposed to get this one, but it does get a new style variant by giving it Medicinical Leak. I thought it already had a leak, but yeah. Let's take a look what this does. Ooh. Okay, I wasn't expecting this. It gets a cute little outfit with like a cute little hat. Oh my god, this is super cute. I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. I don't really know how to feel about it. I do really like how it looks. It doesn't really work with me as well as the previous ones did. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 and I'm gonna keep it that way. Moving on from Sirfetch'd, we now have Skarmory, a very cool Pokemon that we can give the Heavy Ball to. So I'm gonna throw it and then I'm gonna do it like this. Oh my goodness. This is dope. Okay, we're gonna go into the air and take a look at what it looks like when it's flying. Very nice. Okay, so it kind of looks like a warrior. This thing, if this thing were to like follow me around and try and attack me, I would be scared. This thing looks like it has some experience in like battling. It looks super cool. I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10. I don't know why. Not the coolest design. I do really like it, but it's still a little basic in my opinion. Moving on from Skarmory, we now have Sneasel, which we can give the Grey Wool to turn it into this variant. Also, very cool looking variant. It gets some clothing, but I think this one will look way cooler if we evolve it into Weavile. Okay, let's take a look. When we give Weavile the Grey Wool, it turns into this variant. Wait, ooh, okay, that's actually pretty cool. So the top part also changes. This one looks kind of like a Sith Lord in my opinion. It also really reminds me of Sonic, but I think that's just kind of the vibe Weavile gives off. But this one, like the previous ones, I'm not the biggest fan of this style, so I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. It's cool, but not really my style. Now we're moving on to another evolution, which is going to be Umbreon. Umbreon only has one style, and that style can be obtained by giving it Glowstone Dust. This is kind of like the thing we already saw with Eevee and Espeon, but just like a little different details and also a different color. I like this one more than the Espeon one, but I'm still not the biggest fan of these types of cosmetics, but it still looks pretty good. I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. And now we have the last Pokemon of the normal outfits, and that is going to be Zoroark. Zoroark can be given its new cosmetic by giving it glowstone dust, and oh my goodness. This is Zoroark when it's going to go to bed. Oh my goodness, that is so cute. This is another 10 out of 10. I love it. It's like wearing its pajamas. That's so cute. Okay, 10 out of 10, no hesitation. This is so cool. Okay, but that was the last Pokemon for our normal outfits. Now we're gonna take a look at all of these Pokemon that got new summer outfits in the new update. And the first Pokemon that we're going to take a look at is going to be Ninetales, a very elegant and beautiful looking Pokemon. A little side note for all the summer cosmetic forms, you can get them all by giving them just one melon slice. So I'm not going to say, oh, you need to give them melon with every little Pokemon I'm going to show off. Now you know. So let's give this Ninetales a piece of melon and let's take a look. Ooh, it gets like sunglasses, a little chill necklace, and Hawaiian style shirt. Very cool. Not the biggest change, so I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10 because this is definitely an outfit I would wear. Moving on to Jigglypuff, and we're gonna give it the melon, and it gets the cute little sun hat with a little flower on top. Oh my god, this is so cute. This is definitely something I would give my Jigglypuff and would just roam around with. This is definitely better than normal Jigglypuff, so I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Moving on to our next Pokemon, we have Zubat. Giving it the piece of melon, we'll give it, this looks like a bag of snacks. Like, imagine having a Zubat in real life and just being able to like take a snack out and then eating it and then moving on. And when you're hungry, like around here, you can just take another snack and then move on. That's I really like this idea. Okay, so even though it's very simple, I'm giving this a 7 out of 10 because it's super simple, but I really like the idea. Moving on to our next summer version, we have Psyduck. Giving it this thing gives it a pool floaty. Oh my god, this is super cute. So the rubber duck gets the pool floaty. I get it. Super cute. I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. Pretty basic, but very fun. Next Pokemon, we have Arcanine, our first big Pokemon. Giving it this thing makes it a lifeguard. Oh my god, that's so cool. It even has like a board on its back so it can run into the water, save people, and like carry them on their back. That's very cool. The only thing I'm wondering, if Arcanine jumps into water, doesn't it take like a ton of damage? I don't know. That is that's a question to ponder about, but it's very cool to see. I really like this whole idea, so I'm giving this one a 9 out of 10. Next up, we have Machamp. Let's take a look at what this guy gets. He gets swimming trunks and like a cool looking necklace. Okay, I really like this one. This is the chillest Machamp I've ever seen. I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. A pretty basic design, but I do really like it. Okay, next up on our summer list, we have Munchlax. I hope he doesn't eat the melon slice, just takes it. Okay, yes. Sunglasses and a pool floaty with a Pokemon logo on it, so that is actual merch. This Munchlax has some money. And on its back, it also has something. What do you have on your back? Stop turning around. Is that a backpack? Okay, I don't know what this is, but I think it's like an extension of the pool floaty that he can like rest his back on. So that's super cute. So this Munchlax, pretty normal design. I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10 because I do really like how the yellow contrasts with the blue, and also the green on the back is also a pretty nice touch. Okay, next on the summer list, we have Curlia. Let's give it the melon slice, and it turns its skirt into some sort of like grass skirt with like a little flower on the side. Pretty cute. It doesn't change a lot, so I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. Pretty cool, but pretty basic as well. The next Pokemon is Plusle. You know what? I'm also gonna get Minun out here so we can compare their versions. And I think, ooh, this one gets just the hat, the cap, and this one gets like a cute little bag to wear, and also the one-piece hat. Pretty cool. I think if I had to choose between these, I would definitely choose Minun because this one is a little basic. Ooh, wait. It's holding a popsicle. Ooh, okay, that kind of changes the rating for me. I think I'm gonna give both of them a 9 out of 10. They look so incredibly cute, and I would definitely go on a vacation with these two dudes. Now, moving on, we have Piplup, and the cool thing about this one, as you might have guessed, is that this version actually evolves with the Pokemon. So, we got another pool noodle that looks like a Whalmer and like a whole scuba set. So, this Pokemon is definitely going underwater. Let's evolve it and take a look at what it looks like on its Prinplup form. Okay, so this one has like the helpers on the side and also merch from like, I would say a Prinplup company. Swimming trunks, I don't know why a water Pokemon would need swimming trunks, but it looks very cute. I'm giving this one, I would say I give the Piplup a 10 out of 10 purely on cuteness, and this one I would say a 7 out of 10 because it's just like the awkward Pokemon middle stage. It always happens. But maybe Empoleon can get a better score. Let's take a look. Okay. Welcome, Empoleon. Okay, Empoleon is also wearing the swimming trunks, and I think he's wearing scuba fins. I don't know how to feel about this one. I was expecting a little bit more, maybe like a scuba, or like one of those giant diving helmets on this one. That would be super cool. This one is a little basic in my opinion, so I would say I give the Piplup a 9 out of 10, the Prinplup a 7, and this one actually a 5. This is something I would much rather have this version than the cosmetic version in my opinion. So yeah, that's why I'm giving them those scores. Let's move on to the next summer Pokemon. And that one is going to be Lucario again. So you kind of have two choices when you install this add-on with Lucario to choose either this one, the Life Guard version, or the Ash Ketchum version I showed off earlier. I know I said I liked the Riolu version better than the Lucario version, but in my opinion, I think I would much rather have this Lucario version than the Ash Lucario version. I don't know why, the red really works well with the blue. I'd give this one a 9 out of 10. I really like the colors. And guys, we're now in the final stretch because we only have 3 Pokemon left, and the first one is going to be Zoroark once again. So you can either choose between the Pajama version or the summer version. Look at this, the sunglasses, the little outfit. This one is for me a 7 out of 10, but I do like the Pajama way more. I'm not gonna lie. Then next up we have the Dene, a very cute looking Pokemon. Let's take a look what happens when we turn it into its summer variant. A cute little hat. Purely on like cuteness, I would give this one a 10 out of 10, but the model doesn't change a lot. It's very basic. I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10. Still pretty cute, but not the biggest change. And now guys, the final Pokemon of today's video is going to be Meowscarada. It already had the other cosmetic variant, and now it also has a summer variant. Let's take a look. And this is what it is. It looks super good. We get the blue sunglasses and the little flower on the side, and also like, I would say this is some sort of skirt and also a bracelet. For the final Pokemon on the list, I'm gonna give this one a 7. Pretty cool, but I do... Okay, my Minecraft just crashed. What the hell? What? Okay, we're back in the world. My Minecraft crashed for some reason. I have no idea why, but we are back. So, the sunglasses, I like. The skirt, I like, but I don't know if I like it on this Pokemon. My Minecraft crashed again. What? Okay, we're back in the world again. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to take a look at the Pokemon in the PC, because I think when I throw it out, something happens and it crashes the game. So we're gonna take a look at it from here. So like I was saying, I do really like the style variant, but I think it would be way better if this was like on maybe a Gardevoir or maybe a Gallade, like that sort of Pokemon, because the colors in this design don't really match in my opinion. I'm gonna give this one a 6 out of 10 to end the video off with, and also minus 6 points because it's crashed my game. So you can't even play with this thing because it will just crash your game. I don't know if that's only on my PC, but let me know in the comments down below if you have the same problem. And that's going to be it for today's video. I really appreciate you for making it to the end. Make sure to let me know your favorites in the comments down below. I'd love to know all of your guys' ideas. And if you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.